peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Second point is that it is within all of us. So it means I have to discover my real nature. So when I discover my real nature, I bring an end to the suffering. So then one of the most important part in this journey of the Eastern wisdom is that we ask ourselves, are we living wisely? When you wake up in the morning, today, yesterday, day before, did you check your mind? Is it confused, reacting, blaming, complaining? You need not to tell me, but just become aware of it. So why we should become aware? Because simple reason that confusion, reaction, blame, complaint comes because we feel the world outside is responsible for our stress and suffering. So it means we have to move the mind within in order to reach to that state of permanent peace and happiness. But the mind does not want to go within ourselves. Lot of distractions are there, lot of hesitation is there. So we have been working on karma yoga. We discussed that karma yoga purifies the mind. But still, the mind is projecting its attachment, its duality, and a conflict on the people outside. And that problem is the problem of emotional dependence. We have a very strong emotional dependence on the objects, on the people, on the things outside. So that moves the mind outside. Emotional dependence. So if we understand what causes the emotional dependence, we can separate ourselves. So we also discussed, and you all are aware, what is the most important factor to live wisely? We have to apply discernment and dispassion in daily life. Discernment, what is? I separate real from the unreal. So what Eastern wisdom says, what is unreal? Attachment, conflict, confusion. They are unreal. Why? Because if peace is my essential nature, what causes disturbances cannot be my real nature. So simple to understand. Sweetness of a sugar. You put the sugar in a small jar, it remains sweet. Put in a bigger jar, it remains sweet. Whether we live in a small house or a bigger house, that sweetness remains. Whether I have a beard and you don't have a beard, it doesn't make any difference. So we have to separate that. And can you separate it physically? No, we have to separate it mentally, inside our mind. So that very process is known as the discernment, and that discernment results into a state of dispassion in the mind. And dispassion in the mind leaves your mind totally free. Free from. So what happens? Now see, return again. You wake up in the morning, mind brings some likes and dislikes, not interested. Your mind says, because your mind lives in dispassion. Not interested. Pain and pleasure. It leaves it. It's no, I'm beyond that. Sorrow and happiness comes and goes. You realize likes and dislikes comes and goes. For sorrow and happiness comes and goes. Pain and pleasure comes and goes, frustration and failure come and go. You remain in calmness and peace. It means you are a seeker, and if not, you are still to become a seeker. You have to work hard. With that understanding in the background that I have repeated a couple of times, let us come to the emotional dependence. We limit our love by attachment. That is emotional dependence. There is a content of love is there. There is a content of love is there, but that love is distorted. That love is colored. I'm giving a new way to understand. We limit love by attachment, likes and dislikes. We give label. Why you say so? Sometimes we say, I love you, honey. So love exists. We did not create it. We did not produce it. There is no manufacturing plant where the love is produced. Love is existence. Love is present all the time. We distort it, and that distortion creates an attachment. So love has no expectation, but we create an expectation with love that is attachment. Are you getting it? Say yes, even if you don't get it. So you can you can you can listen to it again. So what are the symptoms of attachment? I'm confused. I have a lot of expectation. I blame and complain. You see how they are related. So when you wake up in the morning, you are confused, your mind is blaming and complaining and reacting. It is attachment. But we say, I love you. You don't listen to me. Why should I listen to you? If you love me, keep on loving me. I don't listen to you because you have unwanted expectations from me. You see that, as I told you, this love is not manufactured anywhere. That love is present all the time. We find that love in all the beings, not only human. Love cannot be felt and expressed. Now, second factor. We are going little deeper into this love. So this love cannot be felt and expressed without conscious mind. If I'm not conscious, how can I express love? Do you express love in deep sleep? Can you express your love in deep sleep? Answer is no. And when we are in a waking state, we get attached. And that attachment in the mind, the emotional dependence, is not love, it is an attachment. And that causes lot of problems in our relationship. Look at it, how it takes air, because those people who are not living within, those people who are not living in discernment and dispassion, what happens? Their mind is living with different labels, and that causes the attachment. Take one example. I see you, and then I say, I love you. I see you, I am attracted. How my mind is attracted towards you? Either because of the body or the mind. Mind through its traits and behavior and a particular attitude or a skill set. Or you always agree with me, so I increase my expectations about you. That also causes the problem. Ashok, no, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't agree with. No, I'm saying what is right, you should. Simple example. I see you, I am attracted. Then I say, because I have checked, my mind accepted certain traits and attitudes. It's a body mind complex. And now, looking at your body mind complex, I say, I love you. Anesthesia, you are young. So, body mind, say, pay attention. Body mind limits my mind and my love. That is the meaning you are my soulmate. After a few weeks, you become my soulmate. That attachment factor. But how to know that, how do you separate the attachment with the love? Because after a few weeks, you create likes and dislikes. Say yes or no. We create likes and dislikes. So that is a sign that this is an emotional dependence, this is an attachment, this is not love. So we love, we claim that it is love, it is an attachment. Then what we claim? I love you, as if love is my property. Let us see. See that? Did you create love? Did did you produce love? No, no, I love you. So you don't love me. You hate me. So in that context, last session, we said there are four stages of the love. Yes, in the beginning it is so. At first, one loves only when one is loved. Huh? When someone loves you, then I say, okay, let me spare some love. Let me do some favor to those people. So it's a selfishness. Second kind of the love, next one loves spontaneously. We love spontaneously. Look at the Russia and Ukraine war. We say poor Ukraine. We love spontaneously, but one wants to be loved in return. That is the second stage of the mind, and still the attachment is there. The third, further, one loves even if one is not loved, but the mind keeps one intention that let my love be accepted. And the fourth stage of the love that we did cover last in the last session. Finally, one loves purely and simply without any other need, any other. There is no need. Become aware, be attentive, and then pass on the love consciously. Bypass all the expectations. You love anyone in that state, it thrills your body, it thrills your mind, it relaxes you, it makes you calm. Any love that has a sense of expectation and attachment causes confusion, likes and dislikes, reaction, blame, complaint. I thought you are such a wonderful person, but now I realized, so I stopped loving you. I have to think, I have to contemplate and reflect. The more you contemplate and reflect, oh, let me pick up a little higher. So, first thing, I do not love, I do not manufacture love. So, I don't have a right to say, no, I've been loving you so much and you always ignore me. We always talk like this in our relationship. Yeah? Did you talk about it? Sure. I've been earning so much. For what I'm earning? I'm earning for you, and you don't care me. Don't earn. Take care of yourself. You see those ideas, those thoughts. So that demands one of the first three kinds of the stages of the love, and that love is attachment. Second point that I did not manufacture any or produce the love. Love is existence, it is always present. So I allow my conscious mind to express love in any situation, at all time, in all locations. Why? Love is everywhere. But why? To evolve myself, to raise my level, to raise my consciousness, to discover that permanent peace and happiness, to prevent myself from any conflict, confusion, reaction, and blame. What will happen? Mind will never be distracted. People complain that my mind is totally distracted, my mind is wandering. Because mind is still searching that love. Sorry. It is searching love, but it is attached. So understand from a different perspective. First thing that this love is all pervasive. It is all pervading, and it is eternal. Understand the three factors. One, love is all pervasive. It is all pervading. It is eternal. Means that it goes through all. You communicate in love, the other responds in kind. You see, it goes through the all. Why we should know and transform the mind to find that real love. We are understanding I'm attracted to you. You means the body and the mind complex, and that results into an attachment. After a few weeks, it causes the likes and dislikes. Now, see how this principle is applied here. Water is pervasive in all waves. Similarly, the love is pervasive in every human being. You don't love me, it is a problem in my mind. It is not the problem of others. For example, I gave you the metaphor the water is pervasive in all waves. We are the waves. Love is pervasive everywhere. Just keep that in your mind. You consciously think like this, reflect on this. You will find out your attachment will go. Gold is pervasive in all the ornaments. Let the mind follow that awareness of love in all. Why? To get rid of the attachment. We want to get rid of the attachment that causes likes and dislikes, that causes conflict, that causes reaction and blame and complaint. And then we claim, I possess love. I've been loving you so, what we say? Can I speak English correctly? I speak so heavily or deeply, whatever it is, and you don't love me. Why should I love you? You have a lot of expectations. So that love is all pervasive with that understanding. Second point is that love is present in all at all time, in all conditions, in all locations, can I keep my mind conscious of this fact. So if you are consciously aware of that love at all time, in all conditions, in all locations, will there be a moment of attachment, reaction, blame, and complaint? What our master speaks, that sense of attachment, that sense of emotional dependence veils the love. Attachment is just on the surface, and the love is veiled behind it. So I remove this sense of attachment, which falsely I claim is love, and then there is a love that starts expressing itself uh, in that situation, in that moment, in that location. I love you, honey, so I'm ready to divorce you. Question of divorce will never come. No, I made a wrong mistake. Do you see? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Unless this emotional dependence goes away completely, then only the awakening will take place. Then only what we say, a total emptiness or the nothingness in the mind will prevail. Then only the real self will reveal itself in your mind. Otherwise, it is not possible. So, what should we do? You closely examine the factors of attachment and use that for love. You are attached to your mom. Your mom is a good example, so that's better. So, object of attachment is mom. Second, when I have an attachment with the mom, I have a thoughts and feeling towards the mom. And in attachment, what happens? Our heart filled up with the image of that person, image of the mom. That happens normally in any attachment. When we have a very deep emotional dependence, we feel heaviness in the heart. We don't feel heaviness in the head. Do you see that? Have you felt that sometime? You cannot say no. You might have felt it many times. Three factors: object of attachment, then the thoughts and feeling about that object. That object may be a mom, maybe a honey, maybe a son, maybe a daughter, anyone. So thoughts and feelings. So constantly the mind keeps on thinking and feeling. That's how a person becomes a soulmate. That's how the person becomes a soulmate. And also becomes the sourmate. Again becomes, the heart. Feeling. The same emotional dependence. So emotional dependence with the plus like, soulmate. Emotional dependence with the dislike, sourmate. Mathematical equation. It's very difficult to explain the love with the mathematics. Now you leave likes and dislikes. You leave the very emotional dependence questioned. You put in your mind what is love for the sake of love. And that is why, I did love my master. I brought his image and I could feel him. I could communicate with him. when you have such an intense love for someone, that image appears, that image communicates. People talk about it, that I see the gods and goddesses. Yes, that happens. That is possible with that intense love, minus attachment, minus likes and dislikes. So, whom you respect, whom you adore, you can pick up any image. It's better to pick up the images of mom and dad or anyone whom you who is your ideal, or any god, maybe a Jesus or a Krishna or a Moses or anyone. So, what I am doing, the way my habitual impulsive mind is projecting emotional dependence on that person, which causes lot of confusion, conflict, and reaction. Consciously, you are projecting in that image the real love. The way the mind causes you the emotional dependence, you follow it, but you follow it consciously, as if that image is an epitome of love. No, no, I'm a very rational person. So you are never confused? Yes, I got confused. It is emotional dependence. Don't say that you are a very rational person. Everyone is emotional. Everyone is emotional. Normally, the younger people talk, oh, no, I'm a very rational person. I know that, how rational you are. So you have an element of confusion, you have an element of being upset. It is because of the emotional dependence. You cannot say. So, what we are doing, try to understand this, and we will pick up that the way my impulsive mind forces me based on the likes and dislikes to get attached and claim that I love you, you are doing the same thing minus likes and dislikes. Now you are consciously creating an image in your heart. My mom, last time Stephen was told me about the mom. Yes, mom is anyone. We are not talking of religion. We are asking the mind, you change from emotional dependence to emotional freedom. So we can take help of the Jesus or Krishna or Moses or any image of the God. Well, if you don't want to take it, then take the help of the triangle that we have been meditating as one step. That is also okay. But we have to take some object in the beginning until that object shines in my mind. And once it shines in the mind is totally absorbed with the emotion deeper inside my heart. I found that love. Purification of the mind, emotional dependence to the emotional freedom. In that stage, when the mind goes deeper inside, we are there. Where? What we are. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey. Eyes are closed, my friends. And body is steady. So adjust and line your body, whatever the position of the body it is. Make it comfortable and look at the entire body from the crown of the head to the toes, looking at all the joints, my friends. So, what do you happen? Consciously, mind becomes conscious. Conscious mind feels the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, my friends. Being comfortable is nothing but love to your body for the sake of love. Oh, you always put everything. Yes, being comfortable. Who doesn't want to be settled in the comfort all the time? Is it not love for ourselves? But when we are attached, there comes the problem. And being carefree, the thoughts are coming and going. Make it very clear to the mind that any thought enters unwelcome, uninvited to your mind has to do with an attachment. Otherwise, why they will come? Do you want they should come? No. But still they are coming. So obviously, it is because of attachment. So what should I do? Let the thought come. I don't care. I watch these thoughts coming and going and staying. I don't get carried away. Very good. But still, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming. So we have been learning the third step, replacing, inviting something deeper through the mantra. And what is that mantra? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You mentally say, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. So we follow the mantra. As you are aware, the word, meaning, knowledge. Mind must move like this with the word, meaning, and the knowledge. Why? Meaning and the knowledge. So that we start reflecting on it. Why we reflect on it? So that we can get rid of the unwanted thoughts, uninvited thoughts in the mind. They enter in our mind with attachment. So the meaning here, let there be a well-being for all. Now see how the love enters into your mind consciously. When you say, let there be a well-being for all, no, but explain it. So I have been saying again and again, perhaps it might have gone into your mind and then into the heart. There, every living being is seeking well-being. From the mosquito to the elephant to the plants who have any sensation, to the tiger, to the human being, to my members of the family. So, what is the point of the knowledge? That state of the well being is ever present. My mind do not have access to it. So, but what I am saying, let there be a well being for all. So, where comes the point of love? I am saying let there be a well being for all. So, let everyone discover the state of well being in their life. That is love, not attachment. Second line of the Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Meaning, let there be peace for all. You see, the peace is our essential nature. Everyone is seeking peace. Everyone is seeking peace. Whether one knows it, whether we don't know or we know it subconsciously, habitually. So if someone comes to you and with a blame and complaint, oh, it is his or her way of seeking peace. But you are learning Eastern wisdom. So you have modified your way of seeking peace. That is love. Don't make it very complex. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Let there be completeness, wholeness in all. We are we are seeking the completeness from the objects outside, from the people outside. That's why we are begging. I love you, you don't love me. So we want that expectation of the love from the world outside is because of feeling of incompleteness in me. Why? Because of delusion and ignorance. Because of attachment. Oh, sense of completeness is already within me? Yes. That needs to be reflected again and again in our daily life. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mangalam means auspiciousness. And here the auspiciousness I pointed out in a different way. Love is existence. It means the love is present at all time, in all conditions, in all locations, in all relations. What? Even if one is angry, yes. So he or she has become angry because he or she is seeking love through an anger which is not possible, is because of attachment. So now you have understood. So will you seek love, so-called attachment, with your confusion, blame, complaint, and reaction? Answer is no. You instantly become aware. The mind changes. That is the way, my friends. So we will continue our journey of this meditation. Next step is looking inside the heart. Now you see, that is why I have been giving you this practice. So I give the practice today, but the principles I explain in the future, so that your mind is already ready to receive it. So look deep inside the center of your heart, not the physical one, the center of the heart. That is the seat of the consciousness, is the space within. And there mentally, gently you drop Om Shanti, Om Shanti, and keep the body steady and start breathing, quick and gentle breathing through both the nostrils into the rib cage. Continue. Quick, short, gentle breathing through both the nostrils into the rib cage. You feel the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. Yeah, dropping Om Shanti gently into the space inside the heart. The body remains steady. Can I consciously maintain that experience of the steadiness in the body, dropping of Om Shanti in the heart, and breathing? We are separating. In attachment, everything appears as one. So when you separate the body in your mind, Om Shanti, and the breathing. It breaks up the impressions, dissolves the impressions of attachment. That is why I have been giving this practice. Mind will say no, and you say yes. Mind will say it is enough, and you say not enough, let me continue. And stop this, do nothing for a while, and experience the deeper sensations all around the body, relaxation and stillness. We'll continue with another step of nyasa. You start breathing deep, silent, and slow. So, how you breathe deep, silent, and slow? You first inhale into the rib cage and then expand your ribs. No, sorry, you inhale first into the belly, then into the rib cage in one breath. So, as you inhale, move the mind inside the crown of the head to the tailbone, singing mentally Om Shanti. You are bringing emotions now with the same mantra. As you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone to the crown of the head, mentally singing Om Shanti. Om is the real self, our real nature. Shanti means the peace. So, with that knowledge, what will happen? You will experience almost the body freezes. Body has a tingling, numbness sensation. The breath becomes rhythmic. Om Shanti every time. Om Shanti thrills you. We have done nyasa regularly, so I was waiting for this moment to add the element of understanding of love. Om Shanti. With love, breath follows, body remains steady. Beautiful, everyone. Shanti. Deep silence, slow breathing continues, body remains steady with every Om Shanti. The mind looks deep inside the heart, Shanti, the infinite space. Is the mind reacting? That is because of emotional dependence. It wants to run away somewhere else. You need to fight? No. Pay attention to the breath, to the Om Shanti, to the space within. You need not to control. And drop this step also. Do nothing. Experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. Little deeper, aware of the natural flow of the breath. No change. Awareness of you will find the thoughts are minimized now. The unwelcome thoughts are coming, you become aware and they leave you. Deeper than the mind, the infinite space. That is looking inside the heart in the space. You may have any image, anyone you adore, you love. Why we pick up an image? We find that this image, for example, we talk about gods and goddesses. We say, oh, they are omnipresent, they are omniscient, they are full of love. So the mind has already that impression. But if we want to go with the mom and dad or any idol, well, you don't want any idols, so look deep inside your heart. Visualize it equilateral triangle. Move the mind on a triangle, clockwise, anti-clockwise. And then looking at the center of a triangle, the mind goes inside with mental singing of Om. Mind seemingly stops, you drop Shanti. With a little change, the same thing happens, say for example, the image of the Jesus or is there, the mind moves from the toes of the Jesus to the top, or the Moses, or Krishna, or your mother, or whom you adore. So you move the mind from the toes of that image to the top of the head. And then as your mind moves, so the image also moves deep inside the heart, as if you realize that is the center of your existence. You see it. And the same mantra will work. Om Shanti. So again, you find the mind returns with unwanted thought and because of the past impression. So use the same triangle or an image. You know that outpouring of emotion takes time by the regular practice. And the day comes, outpouring of emotions from the mind, dropping of emotional dependence makes the image alive. You can communicate. We are going slowly. We'll enter into a couple of more practices that helps us to awaken to that love. Doing nothing, remain as you are, almost in a state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside your hands, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. Now, how are you, Stephen?
Excuse me. That was really good. It was a quick, effortless meditation.
Good.
The observations along the way was I being observant of the different spaces within myself, mind, heart center, tailbone. What I found different about today's meditation is that when we do the nyasa, those three spaces are distinctly separate.
Good.
Today, it wasn't that. As I was going through the body, I noticed the heart center expanded to the top of the head and to the tailbone. So I was in one central space, but still recognizing the difference between the head, the heart, and the tailbone. So not sure what that means, but that was the case. When we went and focused in on the heart center, I found that to be interesting because it was this expansive space that never closed. And as I was trying to bring myself to the triangle to the image, whatever it is, I actually saw all of you on this call, sitting with me, and my triangle turned out to be the Buddha again. Yep. So it was very difficult what you said to bring your hands It was like my hands were lead and didn't want to be lifted up. So
Very good. Totally absorbed. And separation indicates that we are in a very intense level of discernment and dispassion. And the beautiful, I wanted to say, you pick up an image, say for example the Buddha, and you wake up in the morning, the first thing your mind says, you see the Buddha in your honey. So that likes and dislike drops. And the same thing, that what happens then, you're perfectly a normal living your life, but the inner perception of the mind, instead of attachment, it goes with the Buddha, for example. Or when you see everyone, that too is a wonderful experience, that you see everyone only because of the love. That's beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. It was very good. It was very peaceful, very deep, very refreshing. The one observation I had is when you were guiding us through the triangle in the heart, and you said go clockwise and then go counterclockwise. When I went counterclockwise, my mind was like, no, that's the wrong way. And it was causing issues. And I remembered what you said about the mind, and I just stayed with it, and it got really easy. And then the rest after that was just, very pleasant, very heavenly.
Very pleasant, very happy. Yeah, it's a deeper. Yeah, it happens. The mind causes some kind of an attachment and preferences. That's where, so we recognize. That's why we are doing it clockwise and anti-clockwise. Very good. So, how are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Namaste. It was nice and deep and smooth, and I had during the talk I had a thought of how when you smile at someone, if they frown
Yeah.
or you don't smile back, sometimes it would make you not want to smile, right? That's kind of like a conditional love instead of that unconditional love. Or if you touch someone and they don't respond the way you want them to, it almost makes you feel like pulling back, right?
Yeah.
Conditional again instead of unconditional. Or when you hug someone, they don't hug you back. Same, we expect, if we could drop that, then life is so easy.
Yeah, just conditioning and drop that expectation. It's a very finer observation. And if we observe our own mind, so it's a conditional. So what should I do? Just drop it. Be in that moment of love. Be present. That is what we are talking, when we use the word be present. That's a finer observation. That's beautiful. And that is how we have to move in our personal, professional, and social life. Wonderful. How are you, Brandy?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you. My meditation was really peaceful and relaxing, and I've been working on just staying with your words, and then whatever goes with that. So that's been pretty helpful with when the mind stuff kicks up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it kicks up only because of emotional dependence. If you examine any thought, oh, I touched him and he is not. So you see that expectation conditional. So that takes the shape of thought and the feeling and the images. That brings the sense of emotional dependence that we have to get rid of it. And one of the best ways, as Stephen was saying, Buddha. So you look at the Buddha in everyone. Oh, Buddha is angry. Buddha is frowning. Thank you very much. But now the Buddha is frowning. Now you see, you don't have that jealousy or hatred against that guy. Ah, the Buddha is frowning. Very good. Thank you. So you don't hurt yourself. Let the Buddha get hurt, Why Buddha is born otherwise? So, no, I'm just giving you. How are you, Barbara and Alex?
I'm very good, thank you. In the beginning of the meditation, I was aware of my grandson sitting next to me,
Okay.
and it was very nice, but it was a different kind of an energy. But
Okay.
then when I got deeper into the meditation, I felt as though I was by myself again, and I just didn't sense anything.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It was very deep, very
Very
nice. Thank you.
sweet. Very good. How are you, Alex?
Good, good. Um, Something I haven't done in a while is stuff like this, and you can even hear it in my voice to a degree. Obviously, you guys don't know me, but I feel very mellowed out, almost euphoric in a sense. And the breathing in the beginning, the quick breathing, I've never done something like that before, so that was interesting. And like you said, the body kind of wanted to stop, but you just kept kind of pushing through it, and it was like almost therapeutic. It was interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah. Barbara, you felt Alex is sitting near you. You don't feel I was sitting near you?
You were always sitting near me.
Wonderful. How are you, Ashok? Then we'll go to Sami.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
It was much deeper and quiet today.
Much deeper and quiet today. Very good. You see, these problems in the personal, professional life, in relationship to the world, will come and go. They have to come and they have to go.
Yeah, correct.
So have a mental poise. That is why you were deep in meditation today. That's really good. How are you, Sam?
Good. I felt an intense state of blankness after the quick and short breathing. And then when it came time to bring the triangle, I saw a number of my family members came into the picture,
Good.
and it was peaceful.
So when they come, you just, we have to spare, we have to move with love. That level of awareness, one is a blind love and other is a conscious love. So that's why we are learning. Consciously, we are learning the element of love versus attachment and duality. So that's, and then after that, after the meditation, during the day in our personal, professional, and social life, we have to see that whether that mind responds with a love or mind responds with an attachment. Discernment is still required, and that will go a long way. So we are left with Anastasia. How are you? In the midst of the war and the bombing, and she is able to attend the session from Poltava. Poltava is relatively safe, so I have a lot of students. Yes, Anastasia.
Oh, my.
Yes, now I can see.
Yes, thank you. I'm very calm and peaceful, and usually, if I'm thinking about person who I'm attached to, I'm anxious and worried. But in meditation, you cannot be worried or anxious. So it's nice to have this picture of this person and be actually in peace.
In peace. Yes, yes. You see, what she said is very important. Normally, when she is with that person A, for example, so anxiousness comes. That expression of the mind in anxiety is attachment. But when I'm seeing the same image in meditation, I don't have that sense of anxiety. You see, there are two types of feeling. Person is the same. So it is not responsibility of a person, it is my mind. I have to take care of my mind. Did you get it? I have to take care of the mind. Mind, all are Buddhas. Example, all are Buddhas.
And I actually have a question
Okay.
about babies. They don't have ego, if I understood. I mean, really little babies, like 6 months or up to a year.
They don't
Are
have
they?
I. They
Yeah.
don't have an I, so they don't have an ego.
Yeah. So are they closer to this real self, to pure love,
Yeah.
without any expectations?
They are very close. Only problem is they don't recognize. Unless that I-ness comes, only the I can recognize. So they are very close to the real self. They are very spontaneous. And that is why, you see that is why we go and touch their cheeks and we lift them. We don't touch the cheeks of everyone, the adult one. So it's so spontaneous. Even we touch we lift the pets. The small pets. How lovely the baby is. Come on, take care of the mind. Don't make your mind crazy. Check your mind. Mind should be like a baby. Did you understand that? Mind should be like a baby. Otherwise.